Russia has just raised the alarm. That's right. Russia just brought to light something very, very important that I've been talking about for a while. I want to talk about this in this movie. This is something I want to talk about because it looks like we are at the start of a big technology and currency war. What's so different about this, Nick, from what the US has been doing with the fiat dollar for decades, you might be asking? The US has been using SWIFT and the US dollar as a financial tool. But the thing is, we're living in a very interesting time in banking because debt is getting so big that it can't be paid back. I'd say it hasn't been able to hold up for a while now, but the cracks are starting to show now. Other countries are also pushing back against the dollar as a way of saying, hey, what do you think? We're no longer going to buy your debt. We don't wish to. We no longer believe that we need to. We really believe that the US dollar is about to die. Now that a whole new world is coming up, we're kind of looking at all of our options. It looks like steady coins are getting a lot of attention. In fact, they're getting so important that I think the US is going to use not only safe coins as weapons, but also the companies that make them. Also, let's look at this story from July 9th from Citi, because I think it gives us a good idea of what big companies like Citi are thinking about when it comes to stable coins. This is a movie. The video is not going to play. It's important to know how big fixed coins are getting. That's all I have to say about it. Right off the bat, we know that institutional acceptance of stable coins is still very new, with a score of only 0.5 out of 10. There is interest from many areas, and banks are looking into putting M1 and M2 traditional money on the web. In other words, stable coins already make up 1% or more of the M1 total. You all heard me say it more than once. Asset managers who are looking into tokenizing RWA, securities, bonds, money, market funds, and stable coins are very important for liquidity in this area. Adoption is slower in retailers because it costs a lot to upgrade infrastructure and takes a lot of time and money. Linking Visa details to cryptocurrency wallets is one way to close the gap. Then there is attention and use cases around the world. In emerging economies, table coins are especially popular because they offer a form of value that is based on the dollar and make it easy for businesses and traders to do business across borders quickly and cheaply. There are not as many domestic use cases in the US. Now let's talk about the role of banks. Banks are very important for building trust and making things easy for users to access. Adding stable coins to current banking experiences could help this happen on a large scale. Stable coins are more or less appealing based on where you live and what the local economy needs. It's possible that not all countries need stable coin integration. Still more to talk about is the difference between steady coins, CBDCs, and deposit tokens. Listen, the important point is that I've always said that stable coins and CBDCs are pretty much the same thing with a different fund manager. That's pretty much it. I mean, this doesn't really make a difference, but the fact that Citi put out this study shows that stable coins are becoming more popular. At this point, stable coins are just bigger than anyone thought they would be. They're also too big to ignore at this point. And I think Citi, as one of the most well-known banks, drew attention to steady coins and their growth while telling us that they're still very new. Stable coins are still going to grow a lot. This seems to tell us exactly where we're going. Now, let's talk about safe coins. We just passed $3 trillion in monthly transfers. The amount of data being sent has been growing quickly over the last few months if you look at this in a daily view. That was something we could see in August. We did reach 3.5 trillion. That was the biggest month since January. Okay, it reached 3.2 trillion in January. We reached 3.1 trillion. There were almost 3,520 million of them. No matter what, December 24th was our biggest month so far, with about $4 trillion in sales. And I would say that we are going to really fight back against that, especially as we get closer to the end of the quarter. I believe the market awakens and we fill that space. But beyond that market cap, buyers are at $191 million. That's a very important number. Then $277.6 billion, which is a little behind the coin market cap view of this, which is close to $300 billion. To say it again, stable coins are very important. They are very big and they keep getting bigger. As of not long ago, the stablecoin limit on Ethereum hit a record high of $165 billion, making it the most valuable cryptocurrency ever. These prices are going up all the way back to, say, $21 or $22. This shows once more how big fixed coins are getting and how fast they are growing. We also have this over here. This is from Circle's ads. Stablecoin just had another record month. In August, more than $5.3 trillion worth of stablecoin transactions were made, which is more than any other month ever. It looks like the stablecoin thing is going to catch on. Also, I agree that the rise of stablecoins is crazy. It's really going through the roof. At this point, I believe that if you are not interested in stable coins, you are losing out on an important part of the crypto economy. I know that talking about stable coins isn't very interesting. It's not fun to watch them. It's not fun to look into them. But I think stable coins are very important for this area. On top of that, the interline networks that they are released on could see a lot of growth just because more people use stable coins and more transactions happen with them. I believe that if you really look into this, you will discover a lot of helpful details that will help you stay on the right track in this area. Again, pay attention to stable coins. On top of that, we have something from the ECB over here. Subjective Views gets a big shout out for this. The ECB is now keeping an eye on stable coins because they know that they will change the way payments are made. Look at this. I was going to talk about crypto and stable coins as well. This means that these things are also growing very quickly, as you can see on this slide. And this might go along with what Madame Lagarde said this morning a little. That's why the number on the left shows that the value of all crypto assets has grown. The stable coins are shown by the blue line at the very bottom. At this point, it's pretty small, of course. You can tell it's getting bigger, though. Plus, we know that some parts of the world are trying to get stable coins and crypto assets in general more attention from the government. That's why I think we should be aware of it, keep a close eye on it, and try to figure out what it means.